Well, listen to this. In 2018, Indiana lawmakers made dealing drugs resulting in death a crime punishable by up to 40 years in prison.
A Central Indiana mother opposed that law until it was her son who overdosed and died. Now Nathan May's loved ones want the man who gave him fentanyl to be held accountable. As Fox 59's Angela Ganote finds out tonight, the unequal application of this law seems as prevalent as the drugs themselves.
Our story began with the mother of Nathan May reaching out, bringing me this book of her evidence. She knows the man who gave her son fentanyl and questions why he isn't being held accountable for her son's death.
He's funny, responsible. He's just a beautiful soul.
Not a moment goes by that Susan Fox isn't grieving and missing her 28-year-old son, Nathan Alexander May.
Most of the time I sit and talk to him.
He overdosed on fentanyl in July of 2020.
The grief itself is just insurmountable. I mean, it weighs on you every single day. I mean, the only time you don't think about it is probably when you're asleep, and that's if you're not dreaming about it.
Nathan's mom, his longtime girlfriend Savannah, and her mother set out on a mission to find out what happened to Nathan, where he got the drugs, and who was with him when he died.
I honestly feel like Nathan likely did get in trouble immediately. The man he was with realized it and just wanted to cover his own.
According to the family, the evidence shows Nathan died in this parking lot on the south side of Indianapolis. The man told Nathan's mom he exchanged fentanyl for half a Xanax bar. We're not naming the man because he's not charged with Nathan's death, but he has multiple drug arrests dating back more than a decade.
I want to know what happened to my son. I want to be heard. I want to be heard.
I reached out to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office to get answered. I was denied an on-camera interview, but through emails on November 22nd and 23rd, I was repeatedly told that IMPD investigated Nathan's case extensively and the evidence did not support criminal charges.
We were told they would try, but the phone is still sitting on my kitchen counter.
We need to really take a hard stance on the fact that the people who are dealing these types of substances can profoundly impact people's lives and end people's lives.
When it comes to evidence, Mears did have enough to charge and convict Dwayne Mahone.
I myself had an addiction, so I was dealing in drugs to support my habits. But sending someone to prison most of the time does not help them with their addiction.
We spoke to him via phone from prison due to COVID. The father of three admits he was wrong, but says it is not right that he got 20 years, while others face no consequences at all.
I believe they should take another look at the law because it's really unfair.
Fox 59 dissected the data, and we found the counties where the most drug deaths are happening aren't where the prosecutions are happening. Take Marion County. 2,584 people have died via overdose since the law was passed 4 years ago. Dwayne is one of just 2 people Mears has charged. In Allen County, 382 people have died. Their prosecutor has not charged anyone. But in Delaware County, where 180 people overdosed and died, 10 people face the newer, tougher law.
Well, it's always a very fact-specific inquiry.
73 days after I asked Mears for an interview,
like this,
and just 6 days before this story was set to air, he agreed to sit down for an interview.
For me personally,
he shared he has recently been touched with an addiction loss of someone close to him. He added his office is focused on using the criminal justice system to help those with addiction, but he will charge someone when there is enough evidence.
This idea that because we don't have enough evidence today, we're just going to stop working on a case is not accurate. And I know the detectives continue to work on the case.
A year and a half later, Susan is skeptical. She told me the unequal application of the laws and the lack of accountability consume her. For now, she closely follows these cases and the man involved with her son. He was just charged for the 4th time with felony drug possession.
All right, my baby.
She fears another family will have to feel her pain and now believes she is called to do something about it. Accountability versus getting an addict help. It's a tough debate. There are many who believe putting a low-level drug dealer who is likely struggling with addiction behind bars makes the problem worse. We asked the Delaware County prosecutor for an interview, but he did not follow through. I also wanted to ask the author of the bill, Republican Greg Sturwald, if prosecutors are using this law the way he intended it. He declined. I will keep trying, though. Angela Gannot, Fox 59 News.